Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Finally, second video of the day, but we finally fixed the bracket. This playoff race is going crazy. If you watched the last video, you understood why the bracket is the way it is, but I'll give it another overview. We got me versus Croc in the quarterfinals. Then, on the same side of the Sinnoh Conference, we got Tanner versus Chris, Slitherwing versus Palathan. Down in the Hoenn Conference, we have Josh versus JC, who has made an absolute astronomical climb to the top. Not to the top, but to the playoff race. I'm gonna be honest, I was doubting them. And then down here, we have a divisional rematch. The third time this season, if Noah is to make it. Mnaz versus Noah. We got some great games lined up here. And honestly, it's crazy that JC's in the discussion, that he's here, but the way he's been playing recently, kinda can't not, you know what I mean? But yeah. If you watched the last video that went up right before this, reasoning why I put Croc here and Tanner here is because, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, but just for the same reason, I'm just going to explain it. They have the same differential, so until they play this week, we have no idea who is, you know what I mean? We have no idea who's going to be who, but just for the sole reason that Tanner has the extra win over Croc, I just put him as divisional leader for now, but obviously, subject to change depending on how this week goes. But yeah, we're here for, God, what are we here for? Week 12 predictions. Let's get rid of this. God, I should have done this before I started recording the video. I'm so stupid. Daddy dittos. Athens versus. I gotta get the music going real quick. Hold on. I should have done this before I started recording. I'm lazy though. Just skip a couple minutes in the video. I'm just gonna be sitting here doing this for a second. Because we are stupid. Where's the schedules? Week 12, there we go. Terraformers. Oh, but Chase and Nick already played their games, so that's one less game we gotta worry about doing the predictions for, which is cool. Alrighty, we're here. Sorry for the delay, but I'm stupid. So this game has already been played, so I'm just gonna do the 2-0. Call it a day. 2-0. There we go. We're just gonna highlight. What do we got? Let's highlight this one. Highlight this one. This one red. There we go. Alrighty, we're here now. Sorry for the delay here, but also one last thing before we really get into it. I found the clip that Finch had from the Worlds from last video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically it was in reference to Tanner and JC's game, and I basically said there's a quote that Finch had where in those matches Tabs and Wu kind of had them beaten away, but due to the veteranship of Tanner and and JC kind of pulled through, and I said there's a quote from Finch that he used in the Season 7 finals of Smite, where he said, "You must come correct, or you must not come at all," and I found the clip from that video.
The defending world champions want another ring!
My goodness, is this PK team resilient? You are not beating them easily. They will not go quietly. You must come correct, or you must not come at all. What a performance from the Knights, from the whole squad.
Imagine.
Bro, chills every time, bro. Chills every time I hear that. You must come correct, or you must not come at all. Oh my god. Dude, I miss Finch so much, bro. Fuck. Depression hours. Jesus Christ. Alright. We're here now. We're here. That's basically all I wanted to get into before we started this video. But yeah. Chase and Nick already played. I'll talk about their game at the end of the week, but I have my opinions on that game that I'm not even gonna get into, bro. Fuck it. But anyway, me versus Wu. Rematch from the last time. Last time we played, ain't gonna lie, kind of a stomp fest. Yeah, 2-0 plus 8. Kind of a rough one for the boy. I'll be honest with y'all. I'll be honest. I'll tell y'all like some friends. I mean, last time we played, again, just like everyone else, sort of like, what is his answer to Rose Raid? I don't know. We'll have to see. But again, my games, I can't really get into it that much because obviously no one playing in them, so can't really say much. But yeah, but I mean, me saying Rose Raid is an issue for his team is kind of an understatement. I mean, kind of ran his team last time, so we'll see how he adapts. But yeah, just based off the last time we played, I think it would be wrong to not give me the 2-0 here again. I mean, I'm sorry, Wu, but until you show me what the dogs got cooking this time, man, we run in your pockets again, big dog. We run in your pockets again. So we'll just skip on to the next one with Chris and New. Again, New kind of had some decent 2 games last week against Wu and against Chase, but again, just not... Oh, wait. I forgot to update the rosters. Ooh, I gotta do that. Well, they're updated here. So, New coming into this game will have... he now has Rabombe and Ambipom. I think Rabombe is pretty good for his team because web support is actually super sick. If he had webs the whole season, that would have been... Well, no, he did because he had Vikavolt. So, never mind. He did have webs the whole season, but he got rid of them for Tanner, but now he has them back again. That's all that matters. So, having a better webber in Rabombe is going to be cool. Ambipom for Nihilego. You know, he wasn't really using Nihilego, only came to 3 games and didn't get a single kill, so I think Ambipom would be a nice change of pace. It's a lot easier to use and get value out of because you can just click knock off, fake out, U-turn, other moves, and you'll be fine. So I think it'll be good, but I don't think it will be good enough to beat Chris, which I think is pretty fair to say. So we're just gonna give this one another 2-0. So yeah, that's that. Those games are kind of quick and easy, but now we got Tanner versus Croc, which for Croc is very important, for Tanner not so much, and I'm going to explain why here, because I've been saying that the past couple of weeks, or ever since Tanner beat Wu, so we're going to explain why. If Tanner is to win, then it is a race between Wu and Croc for the last spot in their last 2 games. Wu plays Tabs, and who does Croc plays Josh? Oh god, that's a terrible game for him. That's gonna be a rough one. And then he plays Chris. So Croc has some... I'm just gonna say like a friend. If Croc loses against Tanner, I think he loses his last 2 games. If he beats Josh, that would be absolutely impressive, and he is deserving of a playoff spot. To beat Chris back to back. Again, this set might be a troll set, but if Croc loses to Tanner, he has to try. Because at that point, Croc isn't playing Chris in quarterfinals, which means he can actually try against him. But again, if he were to beat me, then he would play him in the semifinals, but that's a different story we'll get into later. But again, if Croc is to lose to Tanner, in my opinion, I don't think he's making playoffs. That's just me. I think Wu... Because as of right now, Croc does have a better differential over Wu right now. He's at +13 and Wu's at +9. But Wu plays, what is it? He plays Tabs, which is gonna be a close one, but I think I give Wu the edge there. And then he plays Chase, which who knows if Chase is actually still. I mean, he's been playing it out, so we'll see. But again, I think Wu can take that game as well. I think Wu's games in comparison to Croc's last two are a lot easier. That's no disrespect to Tabs or Chase, but when you're going up against the number 2 and number 3 team and Chris and Josh for your playoff potential, is going to be rough. It's going to be rough. But last week I betted against Tanner, and he came out big in a big game. And also, I want Tanner to win for 2 reasons, and that's why I'm going to put Tanner here. 1, I doubted him last week, and he proved me wrong, so I got to give him the edge here. Granted, he got 6-0'd by Gyarados last time they played, but I think he's learned to adapt. And 2, because if Tanner is to lose, while it gives Wu a chance, I'm going to explain why it doesn't. Because then it comes between a race between Tanner and Wu. Tanner already beat Wu, so he's a game over him. But then Wu plays Tabs, and then Tanner plays Biff. They're about equal difficulty, so let's say they both get a win there. And then Wu plays Chase, which is pretty even game with his game against Tabs, like a pretty hard game. And then Tanner plays New, which we all know how New season's been going. Last game of the season, I don't think he's going to be taken too seriously. So for Tanner, we can kind of chalk that up as a win. So for Wu to make playoffs, Tanner has to win this game. And for the sole reason that I want Wu to make playoffs after how he got fucked by Chris and Hacks last season, like that was the hackiest game of all time. I want Tanner to win this game, and also because I doubted him last week and he proved me wrong, so we're going to give it to him here. So yeah, I got Tanner beating Croc, which means in my mind, the playoffs will be, what? Let's go to the bracket. Let me turn down this song a little bit. There we go. So that means, in my mind, the bracket will probably be me versus Wu here, and then Tanner versus Chris. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it playing out. Again, I could be wrong, but that's just how I see it going, so that's how I'm putting it, man. That's how I'm putting it. Next up, we got, well, this game already happened, so we're skipping it. Next up, we have the Last Minute Linoons versus the Beedrill Bandits. A lot of roster swaps between the two of them. They're not done here because I didn't get to change them in my own PC yet. But, yeah. B dropped a lot. B dropped Rabombe, Cloyster, and Incineroar. Rabombe and Incineroar being kind of crucial members to his team. We got Jellicent, Dondozo, and Entei. And Mnez got rid of Comfey. And what else did he get rid of? Lilligant for Serena and Espathra. So, very interesting things here. I don't know how a man gets Espathra, Chin Pao, and Dragapult on one team, but here we are. Yeah. Mnez's team is looking extremely scary now, especially after last week against Preston, or I guess last night, but technically last week. After his week 11 game against Preston, just Pult is an issue. Chin Pao, obviously an issue, and then you put a Espathra on top of that, it's going to be very difficult for B. I think due to the importance of the game alone, I think B will show up. But I'm sorry, B. Espathra plus Pult and Pao. I really don't know how anyone beats that. I'll tell you like a friend, B, because I am your friend. And I want to see you make playoffs really bad. I really do. But when you got God working against you, it's going to be really tough. It's going to be really tough. So, especially after how MS played last week against Preston, it's going to be hard to bet against them moving forward for the rest of the season. So, yeah, I got to give the edge to MS here. I'm sorry, B, but it is what it is, my brother. It is what it is. Next game, we got Tabs versus Noah, which this is a monumental game for the both of them. As of right now, Noah is in the playoffs, right? But if Tabs is to beat him and B is to lose to Mnez, Tabs takes this slot. He takes this slot. Just flat out, Tabs is in playoffs. And that would be crazy, because this bracket this bottom half of the bracket has been changing so much. We got Mnet, we got fucking JC in there now. And yeah, so this is a must-win game for Tabs. He has to win. He has to win. So, but again, he beat him last time. Again, I don't think it'll be easy, but I can see Tabs, because again, Noah kind of got cooked by Altario last week. I don't know. I mean, obviously he's still in playoffs for now, and if he beats Tabs, it would take a huge breath off his shoulders, but I think Tabs, he knows how to beat him. He beat him last time. I think if Tabs just locks it in, he can beat Noah, but I wouldn't count Noah out completely, you know? I think he's a very competent battler. Again, to see him being 5-6 is crazy to me. I think he is an insane battler. It just shows the skill within Big Juice. But yeah, I can see Tabs walking away with this one. Just historically, he has not been doing good in his division at all. So yeah, I'm going to give this one to Tabs, but I think it'll be a Game 3 banger for sure. And yeah, we'll leave it there. So JC versus Biff. It's an interesting one. I don't know how... I don't want to say too much, obviously, but I don't know how Fairy Garganat, because JC showed away Mr. Mime for Berserker, which that doesn't change anything. I didn't even mention it when Tabs is on here, and that doesn't change anything. But the big change is Normal Noivern is gone and Fairy Garganackle is in. So the real question becomes, how does Biff deal with that? And he has an Iron Treads, so he has a way to deal with it. But after Treads is dead, what do about Fairy Garg? Not a whole lot. So I think this will be an interesting game. And just the way JC's been playing recently, bro. Like, I know I've been down him a lot this season, but bro, the way JC's been playing now, bro. Biff played astronomical against B last week. I understand that. And this could very well be a Game 3-er. But I think JC will have the tools necessary to deal with Bundle and Gallade. I think he will. And again, just the way JC's been playing, he's been really heating up. I think he's going to have a good practice game to get experience with the Fairy Garg. I think he's going to have a good game. So, we'll see. And yeah, that's just my prediction. Again, very well could be a 2-1. And Biff could even upset him like he upset B. But just the way JC's been playing, it's kind of hard to bet against him right now. Just being honest. Last game of the week is going to be Preston versus Josh. Last time they played was the first week Preston made his trades in week 6, and he absolutely bozoed Josh. But Preston has not won a single game since then, and Josh has been doing really well still. So if we're talking about just pure momentum, Josh wins this game 100%. If we're talking about historically, Preston wins this game 100%. I think Josh knows where he went wrong the last time they played, and I think that's a big up for him. So, again, Preston's just been having a terrible second half of the season, so I'm going to give it to Josh. I could see it going to Game 3 just purely based on the reason of how the last set went, but Josh is winning this in my mind very comfortably. I don't see how Preston wins this. I mean, he won it last time, but Josh is a very great battler. He knows what he's doing, so I think he'll know what he needs to change. I think he'll have the tools necessary to take down Preston this time around. So, again, these are all the predictions. This game has already been played. Kind of a quicker video, but now that this is out of the way, I guess I can talk about who I think is going to make playoffs. So, as of right now, this is what the bracket is looking like. You can swap Tanner and Crocker all you want, but as of now, it's kind of how it is. But yeah, let me see, because okay, so the 3 teams in playoff contention down there are B, Tabs, and Preston, and I guess Noah. So Noah plays me next week. Oh god, that's gonna be rough. And then he plays JC. So he has 2 very tough games. JC has to win them. Who does Tabs play? Plays. Okay, so I already have him winning that. Plays Woo. He plays. Ooh, Tabs has a really rough schedule. Who does Noah play last week? Fuck, dude. Their games are hard. Who does B play? So he plays Mnez. Plays Chris. And then who does he play? Oh. They all kind of play each other, which makes this a really hard thing to predict. But if I were to give my bracket predictions right now, this is what I would say. I would say Tanner takes Croc's position. Or no. I would say Woo takes Croc's position. God, what else? And I think Tabs is probably gonna. If I were to do my playoff predictions as of right now, like this is my prediction going into playoffs. I think these are going to be the teams making playoffs. I could very well be wrong, but I could see this being the playoff picture just seeing how the last couple of weeks are and the schedules for the teams involved. B has a very tough schedule. Preston just hasn't been doing well at all. And B has a very tough schedule. Noah has a tough schedule. I think Tabs is in a position to get into playoffs. It's crazy to say, but this is my bracket prediction. Who knows? I could be very wrong. But yeah. So yeah. This is that. Kind of crazy to see. But yeah, these are my week 12 predictions. I have me beating Woo 2-0. Chris beating New 2-0. Tanner beating Croc 2-1. Chase and Nick already played. Mnez versus B in a game 3 2-1. Taz versus Noah 2-1. JC versus Biff 2-0. And then just because of how the last time they played, Josh beating Preston 2-1. But assuming Josh has made all the correct countermeasures, I think it's gonna be a 2-0. So we'll see. But yeah, this is my bracket prediction. And yeah, I think this is scary because historically Tabs has always had Mnez's number except for one time this season. So if this happens, it'll be a very scary game for the Taboon and for the Mnez. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playoffs. It's gonna be exciting stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see y'all later. A little bit of a shorter one, but yeah, it's a lot of content. And yeah, I'm just so excited for playoffs. This is my prediction, and I'll see y'all later. Goodbye.